So although we finished the SG run with that nice blue deluxe, of course last week we had the other double neck, and of course these are still the EDS or EDS copies, EDS types are very much the SG shape, and so let's have a look at this one and see what the differences are and see how it compares to the one that we looked at last week. I'm going to have a quick look at the controls first, because the controls on this are different, very different indeed from that very faithful recreation that we had. And of course I found out since that the reason the stop tails have been moved back was to emulate the Jimmy Page EDS 12 string. I didn't know that. There you go, live and learn. So with this, the toggle switches each operate the pickups. So this toggle switch operates these pickups and this one operates these pickups. The volume knobs take you from one place to the other, and both if you require it. So if I turn this volume knob up, I get all the 12 string. If I turn that one up, I get the 6 and the 12 string, but at a reduced rate. If I turn this one off, I get 6 string only at a slightly better volume. The two tones, that works with that one, and let's turn that off and turn this one on. So not really very difficult to get your head around, but just different. Right, yes, okay, so let's have a listen. So we'll have a listen to the 12 string first, and we'll start with the neck pickup. So listen to the bit in between. And then the bridge pickup. Pretty good. Okay, and on to the 6 string, and starting with the bridge pickup. It's nice and crisp, isn't it? Into the centre. And onto the neck. Lovely, still frying, let's have a look round. So let's have a look and see what we get for our money. I would assume certainly that these are made in China. So you've got obviously 112, 1 string, you've got open book headstocks, and around the back your tuner's a nice vintage style. I quite like those with the mini buttons. Very, very nice, like it. So you've got a set neck with these. There's a scarf joint on each neck. Around the front you've got those split inlays with a bound rosewood. It looks like a rosewood fingerboard. Certainly the neck is bound. It's your SG type body. This one is certainly a little bit smaller than the last one, than the one that we did last week. But you know, it's the same idea, of course. So you don't have as many switches with these. We've got a toggle switch here that takes from here to here, and a toggle switch here that takes from there to there. So you have 4 nice matching humbuckers, stock tails, 2 pneumatics. The volume controls definitely do, well, exactly that. The volume controls also control you switching from one side to the other, but it's a perfectly sensible layout, and the tone controls work nicely. Exhaust pipe in the place where you'd expect it. This, I would say, looks pretty much unplayed to me. I think that it was, well, I don't know. Anyway, there's certainly nothing going on in terms of, there's not a, is it a mark on it there? But there's something there, or is that the light? I can't tell. But all the same, you know, weighs in 5.3 kilograms. I haven't measured the pickups because of the way that they're wired up. It's impossible to get a reading, but they sound and feel like they're popping out, you know, around the 8 mark, a bit like a 490. I haven't taken the pickups out because that I just know already. I did take this scratch plate off, and I had a look at the wiring, and I recognised the wiring. It's from a bit like the Harley Benton cheap generic, you know, red and yellow cores. But you know, everything works all right. So nice and solid. Set neck. Plays really, really well, way better than I thought it would do, and the 12 string is nice and easy to play, I have to say. Every credit to whoever built this. Like I say, I would assume it is Chinese. So, price-wise, there are 3 prices for these, aren't there? You can buy a Gear for Music one. Do you know, it's a shame about Gear for Music because they do make some quite nice instruments. If they didn't put their Gear for Music logo on the top, I'm sure that they'd be more attractive. But as soon as you see them, it's an instant stigma. I understand why they do it, but as a brand, anyway. So Gear for Music ones, they're about 300 quid, but they've got a bolt-on neck or 2 bolt-on necks, which, you know, I would prefer to have a set neck. And then, at the other end of the budget scale, we're going to Harley Benton, which does have a set neck, or a pair of set necks, and the Harley Benton 6 and 12 strings in this design, they come in at 475 quid, they look very nice. And then somewhere in the middle, probably for around the, maybe what, 380 mark, 380, 400 quid, something like that. You can ship one in from China, can't you? But I don't know how customs will treat you, and I don't know what condition it's likely to be in because they don't come in a box. They don't come in a case, rather. So they, you know, that's a chance that you take, and then if it's broken, then selling it back and all that caper. It sounds like a bit of a chore, probably an unnecessary chore. At least if you get one from Tom, you know, you do, and it goes wrong, then you do have some recourse, don't you? Or same for Gear for Music. So they are your options, and what I would say is, which one would I go? Well, if you can buy one of these in this country for the right kind of money, that makes sense. Failing that, I'd probably be happier with the Tommen one at $475, probably worth the extra money. So that's it really for this one. And again, if you're buying these from China, you really do. You are taking a chance on what it's like when it gets here. You try returning something there. That'll be fun. Anyway, with all of that said, thank you ever so much for tuning in. I shall look forward to seeing you on the next one, which should theoretically be another 12 string. So let's see how that goes. Adios, amigos. Ta-ra.